Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the air. The surprise moment in court. Hunter Biden pleading guilty. Could the president's son now face years in prison? Also breaking tonight in New York City, the sweeping FBI raids several of the mayor's top aides. The deadly school shooting, what we've just learned tonight about the alleged shooter. And this evening, the rare images of the JFK assassination. First tonight, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and his surprise guilty plea. Pleading guilty 9 times in court today to federal tax charges. Why the sudden plea and the statement from Hunter Biden just in tonight. Could he now face years in prison? Tonight, hear the new image of the alleged gunman, just 14, charged in the deadly high school shooting outside Atlanta. The FBI confirming tonight they were tipped off about him last year, as we're now learning about the 2 students and 2 teachers killed, one a math teacher and football coach who confronted the shooter. Tonight, the flash flood threat across several states, the rescues, vehicles swept away, drivers pulled from rushing waters. A half a foot of rain now coming, and the record heat. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan is here. The ABC News presidential debate just 5 days away now, and former President Donald Trump tonight now promising to give Elon Musk a key role in a Trump administration. And Vice President Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania tonight preparing for the debate. Tonight, ABC News obtaining video showing the moments after 49ers player Ricky Pearsall was shot in San Francisco. And tonight, the new images just in of Pearsall back on the sidelines. And this evening here, those rare and remarkable images of the moments from the JFK assassination and why so few have seen the images until now.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Thursday night. We begin tonight with the stunning turn in the federal tax case against Hunter Biden. The president's son pleading guilty today to all 9 charges, including 3 felonies. He could now face up to 17 years behind bars. Moments ago, Hunter Biden issuing a statement saying, "I will not subject my family to more pain." ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leading us off.
Tonight, in a dramatic and surprise move on the eve of his trial, President's son, Hunter Biden, pleading guilty to felony tax charges, repeating 9 times before a federal judge to 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. The stunning guilty plea could land him in prison for up to 17 years and force him to pay more than $1 million in fines.
Hunter decided to enter his plea to protect those he loves from unnecessary hurt and cruel humiliation.
Hunter Biden's decision came after a day of whiplash in court, just as the jury selection was about to get underway. Instead, Biden showed up and caught the special counsel off guard and told the court he wanted to enter something called an Alford plea, where he would plead guilty but maintain his innocence. That was quickly opposed by special counsel prosecutor Leo Wise, saying, "I want to make something crystal clear. The United States opposes an Alford plea." Wise bluntly stating that Biden maintaining his innocence was a non-starter. He now faces the prospect of a lengthy prison term as the White House again today repeated that President Biden will not commute his son nor pardon him, something he told our David Muir just weeks ago.
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Hunter Biden's long ordeal coming to an end roughly a year after he tried to plead guilty to tax charges and tried to defer gun charges last summer, only to have the deal fall apart and then face the special counsel. He was convicted on the gun charges and now awaits sentencing. Hunter Biden just released a statement saying he would not submit his family to, quote, more pain, more invasions of privacy, and needless embarrassment. David, he now faces the mercy of the court.
Pierre Thomas live in Washington. Pierre, thank you. Tonight, there are serious questions and anger after that deadly school shooting in Georgia, a new image of the 14-year-old suspect. And tonight, the FBI now confirming they were tipped off about him and a possible threat to a school more than a year ago. Tonight, new video of the terror at Appalachia High School, students walking out holding their hands in the air, and the chilling image of a long gun on the floor in the hallway after the shooting. Tonight here, what we're learning about the 2 students and 2 teachers who were killed, one teacher, a math teacher, and a football coach, confronting the shooter. ABC's Faith Abubey in Georgia again tonight.
Tonight, authorities arresting the father of accused school shooter, 14-year-old Colt Gray.
The GBI has arrested Colin Gray. He is charged with the following: 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon.
And tonight, outrage and anger after it was revealed the suspected shooter was investigated a little more than a year ago for an alarming threat he allegedly made, causing law enforcement to question him and his family.
Why is it not a crime? It seems the simplest thing we can do is make it a crime to threaten your fellow students.
The FBI confirmed they were tipped off about the Georgia suspect in May of last year. The anonymous tips sparked by a disturbing post on the social media site Discord linked to Gray. The FBI saying he had possibly threatened to shoot up a middle school the next day. At the time, Gray was in a different school in a neighboring county. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office interviewed Gray and his father. According to their records, Gray denied making the post, saying he would never say such a thing, even in a joking manner. Gray's father telling investigators there were guns in the house, but Colt did not have unsupervised access, adding that the teenager was being picked on and ridiculed at school.
I worry about him in school and, what would ever happen.
The sheriff's office urged officials in Jefferson City schools to monitor Gray, but made no arrests, citing a lack of probable cause. Gray later transferring schools. Authorities say he brought an AR-15 style rifle to Appalachia High School Wednesday and opened fire, killing 4 people. Video showing a long gun on the ground in a hallway. Students, some with their hands in the air, led out of the school, describing the horror.
There was a second wave of shots that we heard. They were more rapid. And so that's when we were really we knew it was serious.
The suspect surrendering to authorities just 7 minutes after the school's newly installed panic alarm system was triggered, notifying students and staff to take cover and alerting authorities. 2 of the victims were students just 14 years old, Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo, seen here in a photo his family posted on a GoFundMe page, and 2 teachers, Christina Aramy and Richard Aspinwall, a math teacher and defensive coordinator on the football team, affectionately known as Coach A. Students say the math teacher and coach confronted the shooter. Moments later, 17-year-old Brianne Maldonado heard more gunshots and saw his teacher again.
It looked like he was crawling, like he was already laying down by the time he got to our doorway. So it just looked like he was already crawling on the way back. And once he got midway through the door, that's where he stopped.
And David, some parents tell me they have serious questions about the shooting, but also about how the suspect was on law enforcement radar and still seemingly slipped through the cracks. He has his first court appearance tomorrow. David.
It is incredible that they were questioning him and his family more than a year ago. Faith Abubey tonight. Faith, thank you. Here in New York City tonight, sweeping federal raids targeting several of the mayor's top aides and officials across the city. The FBI raiding homes, federal authorities issuing subpoenas and seizing the New York City Police Commissioner's cell phone. Here's our senior investigative correspondent, Eric Katersky now.
Late today, the sweeping move across New York City. Federal investigators reaching into the highest levels of Mayor Eric Adams' administration, looking into possible corruption.
I'm not aware of any wrongdoing or misgivings from anyone on my team.
The feds now appear to be taking aim at the top ranks of city government and some of the mayor's most trusted aides. Investigators seized phones belonging to Police Commissioner Edward Caban and other NYPD officials, and they raided the homes of 2 of the deputy mayors closest to Adams, arriving before dawn. Adams saying tonight his administration has nothing to hide.
We're going to comply with whatever rules, and we're going to follow the law. And we're going to make sure that whatever information is needed, we're going to turn over that information. And that is what we have been doing since the beginning of this review, and we're going to continue to do that.
For months, the feds have been investigating whether Adams in his 2021 campaign took illegal foreign money. But sources tell ABC News this investigation is different, focused on possible corruption at City Hall. The mayor's chief counsel is telling us tonight, David, that there's no indication the mayor himself is a target of any investigation. But, David, his political opponents are already pouncing. One saying that you can't clean up the city if your own house is a mess. David?
Aaron Katersky with the breaking developments here in New York City. Aaron, thank you. We are following a flash flood threat across several states at this hour. A half-foot of rain still on the way amid emergency rescues already. Tampa tonight breaking a record, nearly 4 inches of rain in 1 hour. In West Texas, look at this, vehicles swept away. A man holding onto a tree rescued from the fast-moving waters. And tonight, the record heat. Phoenix, well more than 100 days now, with temperatures more than 100. It's 114 in Phoenix right now. Here's Matt Rivers tonight.
Tonight, heavy rain hammering southeast Louisiana. The rising waters making the roads treacherous for drivers. More than a half a foot of rain expected over the next 2 days, with the New Orleans area in the bullseye. Dangerous flash floods wreaking havoc from there to Florida.
I'm scared to stop because if I do, I'm stuck.
Overnight, Tampa breaking a record, nearly 4 inches of rainfall in just 1 hour. This street turned into a lake, waves crashing over cars. And in West Texas, rescuers using a rope to pluck several stranded residents from a tree amidst fast-moving waters. Meanwhile, those extreme temperatures still baking the West. At Chaminade High School in Los Angeles, athletic trainers using a special device to measure the heat to determine if students can play. Part of new state regulations this year to protect athletes. It's meant later practices and canceled games, but officials say it's a small price to pay.
That's my number one priority, is the safety of our student athletes and the safety of our coaches, and making sure that we're doing the right things.
And in Phoenix, they've now had more than 100 consecutive days of triple-digit heat. So far this year, 177 heat-related deaths have been reported in Maricopa County.
And David, there is an excessive heat warning in place here in Los Angeles until Monday, alongside a red flag warning, because all of this heat increases the chance for wildfires. David?
Matt Rivers with us tonight. Thank you, Matt. Let's get right to our chief meteorologist, Cecily Tynan, at our station in Philadelphia, WPVI, back with us tonight. Cecily, good evening.
Good evening, David. And parts of the Gulf Coast have been soaked already today by several inches of rain, and that front will stay parked there right through the weekend. So that means more rounds of heavy rain, bringing the flood threat from southeastern Texas to the panhandle of Florida. The focus of the heaviest rain, southern Louisiana. That area could get more than 6 inches of rain over the next 48 hours. In the meantime, out west, the scorching heat wave continues. Phoenix, Arizona, climbing above 110 degrees today for the 56th day this year. That's an all-time record. Those heat alerts, they continue tomorrow. However, over the weekend, temperatures will gradually start stepping down. That's the good news, but it stays unseasonably hot right into next week. David?
Cecily Tynan from WPVI tonight. Cecily, thank you. We turn now to the race for the White House. The ABC News presidential debate just 5 days away now. Vice President Kamala Harris arriving in Pittsburgh to prepare for the debate. Former President Donald Trump speaking to business leaders in New York, saying he'll put controversial billionaire Elon Musk in a key role in the Trump administration. Election day now 60 days away. Here's Rachel Scott.
Today, Donald Trump announcing a major role in his administration for the world's richest man, promising to put controversial billionaire Elon Musk at the head of a new government commission to crack down on fraud and waste.
A complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, that'd be a good one to do it. But he's agreed to do it.
No stranger to controversy, Musk has shared misinformation on his social media platform X, even once sharing an anti-Semitic post for which he later apologized. The billionaire has endorsed Trump and actively promoted his campaign on X. In fact, Musk himself proposed the idea of a commission in an online Q&A with Trump. Trump seemed to like the idea and praised Musk for threatening to fire his own workers who go on strike.
I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
I'd love it
if it were formed.
Well, you're the greatest cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone.
The head of Teamsters calling Trump's comments economic terrorism. The head of the UAW saying, when we say Donald Trump is a scab, this is what we mean. Today, Trump saying Musk would be charged with finding trillions of dollars in federal waste and fraud. Musk accepting the role, saying, I look forward to serving America if the opportunity arises.
And David, as for Vice President Kamala Harris, she just landed in the critical battleground state of Pennsylvania, where she plans to hunker down in Pittsburgh to prepare for next week's debate, now just 5 days away. David.
Rachel Scott, live in Washington. Rachel, thank you as always. Of course, the ABC News presidential debate, as Rachel said, just 5 days away. Next Tuesday night, right here on ABC, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump on that stage. I'll be moderating with our Lindsay Davis the debate right here on ABC, 9 p.m. Eastern, next Tuesday night. We continue with the news here, and next this evening, the first hearing in Donald Trump's election interference case in nearly a year. The judge now setting a schedule. The case had been on hold awaiting the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity. The special counsel then filing a revised indictment in recent days to reflect the Supreme Court's ruling. The former president's lawyers calling for further delay, citing the election. Tonight, federal judge Tanya Chutkan saying the timing of the election is, quote, not relevant here, setting a schedule with no chance of a trial before the election. When we come back here tonight, new video showing the moments after 49ers player Ricky Pearsall was shot in San Francisco. And then tonight, the rare images from the JFK assassination and why so few have seen the images until right here tonight. Tonight, ABC News obtaining video showing the moments after 49ers player Ricky Pearsall was shot and wounded in San Francisco. The 17-year-old suspect seen on surveillance running down the sidewalk, dropping a gun on the ground. Police arresting him just minutes later. Pearsall was shot in the chest during an attempted robbery there. Today, 5 days later, look at this. Pearsall back on the sidelines during practice. He is expected to make a full recovery. When we come back tonight, remarkable images from the JFK assassination and why so few people have seen them until now. To the index of other news, and tonight, a rare and remarkable film of the JFK assassination about to go on the auction block in Boston. The RR Auction House says Dale Carpenter Sr. recorded the 8mm film showing the chaotic moments after President Kennedy was shot. His limousine speeding to the hospital, President Kennedy slumped over and out of sight, a Secret Service agent on top of the vehicle. Carpenter's family says the film, more than 1 minute long, has been passed down from one generation to the next, and it's believed that only a handful of people have ever seen it. Tonight, American soccer legend Alex Morgan is retiring, a two-time World Cup champion and Olympic gold medalist with the U.S. women's national team. She's now pregnant with her second child and says the decision to retire has been a long time coming. Her final game with the San Diego Wave will be this Sunday. Congratulations on retirement. Of course, good luck with baby number 2 now on the way. When we come back here tonight, America Strong, the stunning moment on the basketball court, the young basketball player everyone gathered around, and what he did next had everyone moved and had nothing to do with the game. Finally tonight here, America Strong, the young basketball player and the most remarkable play on the court. It had nothing to do with the game. Tonight, the incredible moment at a basketball camp in Birmingham, Alabama. It's not what you think. That's Charlie Campbell standing right in the middle between practice drills. His fellow basketball campers, his teammates, his coaches, all surrounding him. And you have to see and hear what happens next.
Everybody be quiet.
Their coach telling everyone to quiet down, and then Charlie begins to sing.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore.
The song, the summer hit Lose Control by Teddy Swims. The whole basketball court silent. Charlie's teammates turning to each other.
Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone?
Charlie bravely singing in front of everyone, and then everyone cheering for Charlie.
Falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control.
Boy!
What the?
Hey, you different, boy. Hey,
Keep going, Charlie!
And tonight, the head of Alabama hoops right here.
Hey, David, the video with Charlie was crazy. That's one of the coolest things about this, and using sports to really unite people and to create the next generation of hoopers, which is all we really think.
Tonight, Charlie, the basketball star and singing star, and the campers cheering him on. The incredible little player, the whole team cheering him on, and Charlie, we're cheering you on too. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.